Hi guys, it's Amanda Manus here and welcome to episode 14 of The Run. Today we're going to talk a little bit about colonic irrigation. So I was invited into a group today to answer a question by one of the followers of the Find Your Feel Good group. It's a wellness coaching group. I can pop the link in below if you want that, but a number of wellness coaches moderate that to just help people. It's a new group and it's kind of just helping people find their feel good. And someone posted a question about colonic irrigation and how to repopulate their gut with good stuff after that procedure. And so I thought I'd just get on and talk a little bit about that. So it's interesting. So what happens, for those that don't know, is basically they get a hose put up their backside and their guts get a great little clean out. So why people do that is to relieve kind of gut problems, reduce chronic constipation and all of that kind of stuff. So from a scientific point of view, there's not any strong evidence for that to happen. From a individual patient point of view, obviously if you're having a lot of ongoing issues with your gut, chronic constipation, you're going to be looking for something to relieve it, and a good washout will relieve it, but those things don't help you in the long term. So if you were having this procedure to get rid of chronic constipation, sure, it's going to get rid of it for a little while, but unless you're addressing what is causing that, then it's going to keep coming back. So you can keep going and paying a fortune for these colonic irrigations, or you can get to the root cause of the problem. So basically, if you're chronically constipated, or you've got chronic bloating or gas or something going on, the bowels aren't working as they should. And why is that happening? Once the bowel gets inflamed, that inflammation, if you've got inflammation in your body, you've got inflammation in your bowels. Once the inflammation's in your blood, it's passing through everywhere. So if you have chronic bowel issues, you imagine your bowels full of these villi, microvilli, like you've got your villi inside of your bowels, and they look like these little little sweepers that kind of push all the stools through. But on those villi, you've got little hair-like projections called microvilli. On those, you've got little dots, and then on those, you've got dots on dots. And on all of that stuff is where the enzymes are that digest all those little, absorb the vitamins and minerals and all that kind of stuff. So what happens is, if you've got chronic constipation, imagine you've got these big hard stools going past these tiny little enzymes. They're just going to get knocked off and washed away. And then it's going to exacerbate the problem. It's going to keep going and going and going. So if you've really kind of got to figure out what is causing that for you. And often it can take a good, once you do figure out what your trigger is, it can take about a good 6 weeks for your gut to start recovering and working properly again. So it's not a one size fits all. Our gut is actually really good at rejuvenating itself. So if you remove something from the diet and you see some great results, don't keep it out forever. Particularly things like lactose. You can actually make yourself lactose intolerant. So just by removing it completely and not reintroducing it, you're not activating those enzymes. So then when you do go to have it, the symptoms are much, much worse. So if you are removing it, remove it for a short period of time and slowly add it back in and see if it's causing the problems again. But I would recommend talking to someone who does know something about gut health, particularly if these issues are going and going and going. You could go off and you know, have these treatments to solve, you know, to like a colonic irrigation will just clear everything, but you're not addressing that core issue, so you're going to have ongoing problems. The bowel, I have no, like from my own personal experience, so probably about 4 years ago now, I was hospitalised for nearly 5 days with, it was a bowel flare-up. So it's now officially called irritable bowel, inflammatory bowel disease. And that was secondary to my ankylosing spondylitis. So that's a condition that I've got that causes lots of inflammation, and the inflammation is chronic in my bowel, and it got into the lining of my bowel and it made it swell up. And look, I just about eat anything and everything. I do know and listen to my bowel, so I reduce things at times. I can't overdo a lot, but I've got my bowel to a stage where, you know, I can just about eat, well, I do eat anything and everything. I just watch the amount and the types. Try not to load too much at once. So, but that, you know, I did have to go through my own kind of FODMAPs elimination, and it's taken a little while to recover. But you can always, not always, but most of the time you can get some bowel recovery. So it's not as though you have to exclude forever, and it's not as though you have to Band-Aid treatment forever. Talk to someone who knows how to fix it, rather than paying lots and lots of money for Band-Aid treatments, and you'll be much better off. That's it for today, guys. Yeah, so I suppose the question, sorry, the question on the group was about how to build up that gut bacteria after someone's had that can't even say it now, basically the bowel's cleaned out. So after, basically any time you wanted to increase the good bacteria in your gut, all you need is a wide variety of food in your diet, lots of fruit and veg. Probiotics are great, but if you're using a probiotic, look for one that's got lots of different strains and not just the one strain in it. So more than one strain is good with a probiotic. Fermented foods are great as well. So if you are trying to increase the number of bacteria in your gut. That's it. Thanks, guys. See ya.